The Fearless Journey, a tale of triumph over fear. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a young girl named Lily. Lily was a kind-hearted girl, but she had one big problem: she was always afraid. She was afraid of the dark, afraid of spiders, afraid of heights, and even afraid of talking to new people. Her fear had become so big that it was hard for her to even leave her house. One day, Lily decided that she was tired of being afraid all the time. She knew that she needed to face her fears and overcome them. So she made a plan to start small and work her way up to the bigger fears. She would start by talking to a new person every day, then she would try going up the stairs to the second floor of her house, which she had never done before. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to succeed. And so, Lily began her journey to conquer her fears. Lily's first challenge was to talk to a new person. She went to the market and found a vendor selling fruits and vegetables. She mustered up all her courage and approached the vendor, who greeted her with a warm smile. They struck up a conversation, and soon enough, Lily realized that talking to new people wasn't so scary after all. Next, Lily decided to tackle her fear of heights. She went to a nearby park and saw a small hill. It wasn't very high, but for Lily, it was a good place to start. She took a deep breath, and step by step, she climbed up the hill. When she reached the top, she looked around and felt a sense of accomplishment. She had faced her fear and won. As she continued her journey to conquer her fears, Lily realized that the more she faced her fears, the stronger she became. Her fears no longer controlled her, and she felt free. However, she still had a few more fears to conquer, and she was determined to do so. Lily's next challenge was to confront her fear of spiders. She decided to start by observing them from a distance. She went to the library and read books about spiders, their habits, and their importance in the ecosystem. She learned that spiders were not as scary as she thought, and that they were actually helpful in keeping other insects in check. With this newfound knowledge, Lily decided to face her fear head-on. She went to a pet store and bought a small tarantula. At first, she was hesitant to touch it, but with some encouragement from the store owner, she slowly reached out her hand and touched its furry legs. To her surprise, it felt soft and ticklish. Lily felt a sense of pride in herself for overcoming her fear of spiders. With each fear that Lily faced, she gained confidence and courage. She no longer felt trapped by her fears and was able to live her life to the fullest. However, she knew that there was still one more fear left to conquer, and it was the biggest one of all. Lily's last and biggest fear was her fear of the dark. It was a fear that had plagued her since childhood, and she had never been able to shake it off. But now, after facing and overcoming so many other fears, Lily was determined to conquer this one too. She began by turning off all the lights in her room for a few seconds each day, gradually increasing the time as she grew more comfortable in the dark. She also started meditating to calm her mind and reduce her anxiety. Lily's progress was slow but steady, and eventually, she was able to sleep with the lights off. She even took night walks outside and enjoyed the quiet and peace that the darkness brought. Lily knew that she would always have fears, but now she had the tools to face them and overcome them. She had learned that fear was not something to be ashamed of, but something to be embraced and conquered. And with this newfound wisdom, Lily knew that she could conquer anything that life threw her way. As Lily looked back on her journey, she realized how far she had come. She had gone from being a girl who was afraid of everything to a woman who was brave and confident. She felt grateful for all the people who had helped her along the way and all the experiences that had challenged her. Lily knew that there would always be more fears to face, but she felt ready for whatever lay ahead. She felt strong and capable, and she knew that she could handle anything that came her way. Years went by, and Lily grew older, but her spirit remained strong. She had faced many challenges in her life, but she knew that there would always be more. And so, she continued to push herself, to explore new places, and to learn new things. One day, as she was walking in the park, she saw a young girl who looked lost and afraid. Lily approached her and asked if she needed help. The girl nodded, tears in her eyes. She was lost and didn't know how to get back home. Lily took the girl's hand and led her back to her home. Along the way, she talked to the girl, comforting her and reassuring her that everything would be okay. When they arrived at the girl's house, Lily hugged her and wished her well. As she walked away, Lily realized that she had faced her biggest fear yet again. She had faced the fear of not being able to help someone in need. But she had succeeded, and it filled her with a sense of joy and purpose. Lily knew that life was full of challenges, but she also knew that it was full of opportunities to be brave and to make a difference in the lives of others. She smiled to herself, knowing that there was nothing that she couldn't face. As Lily continued to live her life with courage and determination, she inspired others to do the same. People from all over the world wrote to her, thanking her for sharing her story and giving them hope. Lily was surprised by how many people her story had touched and felt grateful for the opportunity to make a difference. She decided to use her experiences to help others face their own fears. She wrote books, gave speeches, and even started a support group for people who were struggling with anxiety and phobias. She spent her days talking to people, listening to their stories, and helping them find the strength to overcome their fears. Lily realized that her journey had not only been about conquering her own fears, but also about helping others conquer theirs. She felt fulfilled and content, knowing that she had made a positive impact on the world. And so, Lily continued to live her life with courage, hope, and love. She knew that there would always be challenges and fears, but she also knew that there would always be opportunities to be brave and to make a difference. She smiled, knowing that her story was far from over. One day, Lily received a letter from someone she had never met. The letter was from a young boy who was struggling with a fear of the dark. He wrote about how scared he was at night and how he didn't know what to do. Lily was touched by the letter and knew that she had to help. She wrote back to the boy, telling him about her own fear of the dark and how she had overcome it. She gave him tips and strategies for dealing with his fear and offered to talk to him anytime he needed support. Over the next few weeks, Lily and the boy exchanged letters, and Lily watched as the boy slowly gained more confidence and courage. He wrote about how he was no longer afraid to sleep in his own bed and how he was able to turn off the lights at night without feeling scared. Lily felt proud of the boy and grateful for the opportunity to make a difference in his life. She knew that her journey had led her to this moment, where she could use her own experiences to help someone else. And she smiled, knowing that this was just the beginning of what she could do. Months passed, and Lily continued to help people overcome their fears. She traveled to different cities and countries, speaking to groups of people who were struggling with anxiety and phobias. She listened to their stories, shared her own experiences, and offered them hope and support. As she was leaving one of her speaking engagements, a woman approached her. The woman was in her 60s and looked nervous. She told Lily that she had been struggling with a fear of water for her entire life and that she had never been able to learn how to swim. The woman had always wanted to learn, but her fear had held her back. Lily listened to the woman's story and felt a strong sense of empathy. She knew what it was like to be held back by fear, and she knew that it didn't have to be that way. She offered to help the woman learn how to swim and invited her to come to the local pool with her the next day. The woman was hesitant but agreed. The next day, Lily and the woman went to the pool together. Lily started by teaching the woman how to float and how to breathe properly. As they progressed, the woman's fear began to fade, and she became more and more confident. By the end of the day, the woman was swimming laps across the pool, a huge smile on her face. She hugged Lily and thanked her for giving her the courage to face her fear. Years passed, and Lily grew old, but her spirit remained as strong as ever. She had helped countless people face their fears and live happier, more fulfilling lives. She knew that her legacy would live on through the people she had helped, and she felt proud of everything she had accomplished. As she looked back on her life, she smiled, knowing that she had faced her own fears and used her experiences to make a difference in the world. She felt fulfilled and content, knowing that she had lived a life of purpose and meaning.